Okay, so you guys, I haven't had a lot of time and opportunity to update you all on the Jay-Z legal showdown where we have all this drama, all these accusations, and what looks like a courtroom circus in the making, right? So we know that the billionaire rap legend, aka Jay-Z, aka Sean Carter, has been accused of raping a 13-year-old girl. And, the case is just getting more and more dramatic because now he's accused of wielding his wealth and influence like a weapon, right? And we have this legal brawl between his side and the victim's side, the Tony Buzbee, the lawyer for the victim. This legal brawl brewing, and it's turning into the courtroom equivalent of like a blockbuster franchise, right? So Tony Buzbee, who is the lawyer for the alleged victim, he basically he's representing the victim, Jane Doe, which he hasn't really named the victim. She claims that she was raped by Jay-Z and Diddy 24 years ago. And she said she was just 13 years old when this all happened. And she claims that it was at the Lotus Club, or she met them at the Lotus Club in New York City in 2000, and she was 13 years old. And we don't know who this woman is yet anyway, but she was interviewed by an American media. I think it was NBC, and there were all these sort of discrepancies in her story. But anyway, her lawyer, Tony Buzbee, a very controversial figure who people are calling to be sanctioned, he's now saying that Jay-Z is a bully who demands different rules and faster procedures to skirt accountability, because I think Jay-Z had asked the court to, you know, force this man, Busby, to respond in like one day or something to a motion to dismiss the suit he filed. So Busby, in his latest fiery letter to Judge Annalisa Torres, says that Jay-Z's tactics and his lawyer Alex Spiro's tactics are histrionic, quote unquote, right? And verge on outright harassment, right? And Busby claims that, they've threatened sanctions against him, and they have attempted to intimidate witnesses in the case against Jay-Z. And Busby paints a picture of a legal team hell bent on silencing his clients and discouraging other plaintiffs, right? Jay-Z, meanwhile, has dismissed Busby's claims as heinous, and he has challenged Jane Doe, the alleged victim, to file a criminal complaint instead of a civil suit, this money grab bounty hunting suit. He's like, look, if you're saying I did something this horrific to you, where you even have seizures from it, and you're like so sick and you're rearranged mentally, emotionally, physically, you need to file a criminal complaint. And JDC apparently even published a dramatic handwritten statement to Rock Nation's, his company's social media account, about this whole thing. I don't know if you guys knew about that. I didn't know about that, this handwritten statement on Rock Nation's social media. But the drama doesn't stop there, you guys. Diddy, right? Remember him, Sean Diddy Combs, the original bad boy, the one who was accused of racketeering and all kinds of craziness, and was seen beating up his girlfriend Cassie in the hotel. He's already embroiled in a slew of other sexual assault allegations, right? And so he's sitting in a Brooklyn detention center, and I'm assuming that Jay-Z does not want to join him there, right? And but so Diddy is awaiting trial on all these, like, sex trafficking charges. And so Busby files his amended lawsuit earlier this month, and he directly names Jay-Z as celebrity A, and he accuses Jay-Z of participating in the assault of Jane Doe, the alleged victim in this Busby case, when she was 13 years old, after the MTV VMA Awards 24 years ago. I think at that time, Diddy was dating J Lo. And so the accusations have spiraled into this media frenzy, you guys. Everybody knows this. I just haven't had a chance to really keep up with this, with claims of bribery, intimidation, and even fears of evidence tampering. Meanwhile, Jay-Z's camp insists the case is a total sham, right? And at the same time, Busby is doubling down and he's accusing Jay-Z of twisting facts and using scare tactics to derail justice, right? So it's legal fireworks, to say the least, right? And as they continue, the stakes couldn't get any higher. I mean, they're higher than they have ever been. We have Beyonce headlining Netflix's Christmas Day NFL halftime show coming up. Rock Nation is back in the spotlight, but this time the world isn't just watching the music, right? It's the question of, will this bitter battle take a holiday pause? I wouldn't bet on it if I were you, because I don't think this saga is anywhere near the final act. And let me explain why. It turns out that Tony Buzbee is taking aim at Jay-Z's Rock Nation, accusing the entertainment mogul's company of pulling some really shady moves, right? So Busby claims Rock Nation, along with big shot law firm Quinn Emanuel, where Jay-Z's lawyer Spiro works, has been orchestrating a sneaky campaign to turn Busby's own clients against Busby, right? Allegedly, people pretending to be state officials with fake badges, no less, approached Busby's clients. I mean, Busby says this in a court filing, offering cold, hard cash to sue his firm. The price tag for betrayal reportedly up to 10,000, and the receipts, Busby says he's got them on tape, you guys. The whole thing is insane. This legal dust-up comes amid the explosive case, the Jane Doe who accuses JD and Diddy Combs of raping her 24 years ago when she was just 13 years old. She says that she had to call her dad from down south, and he drove 5 hours to New York to pick her up and 5 hours back home in total silence. Two men did that to her at 13. Some friend of hers who's now dead drove her to the VMAs. The friend was 20, she was 13, and she was assaulted. And then she called her dad, I think, from some gas station. I don't know if there's any gas station near the Lotus Club in New York where apparently she was dropped off. But I mean, she's claiming that she called her dad from there and he drove 5 hours from the south, whether South Carolina, Albuquerque, not Albuquerque, Alabama, wherever. He drove 5 hours to New York, picked her up, and drove 5 hours back. She never told him anything. And her own dad is saying that he doesn't even recall that this occurred, this whole 10-hour drive, right? Jay-Z has denied the allegations, right? And he has accused Busby of extortion, as everybody knows. And, his lawyer, Spiro, has called Jane Doe, the alleged victim's claims, meritless. And he accused Busby of sloppy vetting, right? Meanwhile, Rock Nation is now calling Busby's lawsuit, where they're claiming that, all these fake badges were flashed and, they set up his clients against him. They're calling it baloney. This word baloney gives me pause. I'm like, if that's the best you could call this, that makes me nervous, right? Did this happen? Did you guys do this? Did you guys, you know, pay people up to $10,000 to say things about this man's firm on tape? Oh my God, did you do that? I hope not. I hope not, Jay-Z, right? Because this is baloney. I mean, this would not be the word I would have used if this were not true. You know what I mean? But anyway, I'm withholding any judgment. I'm withholding any strong opinions. I'm just saying that they called it baloney, dismissing it as a desperate distraction from what they see as frivolous claims filed by Busby and Quinn Emanuel, the law firm representing Jay-Z. They're equally unimpressed with Jay-Z's attorney, Alex Spiro, saying, "We have no idea what he's talking about." I hope that's true, Alex Spiro, right? I hope that's true because this would just be the just destroy the whole case because you had it in the bag, but if you then went and you took that extra step, it's always the extra step that gets you in trouble. I mean, if you have something, you know, you have it in the bag, don't take extra steps. Just sit tight and let the truth prevail. Don't try to juice up the truth. You see what I'm saying? Because if you went and you paid people, I'm saying if, big if, I'm not saying you did, this just blows up your whole credibility in 2 seconds. Right. So as for Busby, he's standing firm, he's claiming that these alleged tactics are blatant attempts to intimidate him and derail his pursuit of justice for his clients, including the 20 lawsuits his law firm has already filed against Diddy for alleged sexual assault. Right. So with accusations flying, secret recordings, and high stakes courtroom battles, this saga has all the ingredients of a blockbuster legal drama, you guys. Stay tuned. This one's just heating up, and I'm not even sure which side to pick here. I'm kind of leaning on Jay-Z and Alex Spiro's side because something about Busby and his tactics just, gives me pause, right? And certainly a lot of these victims, these alleged victims, their stories to me are a little bit out there, most of them outlandish. It just sounds to me like a huge bounty hunt, starting with Diddy and now spilling over to Jay-Z, and they're not going to